Hello, my friend. Welcome back. I am so glad you are here today because this video is one I have genuinely been looking forward to making. We are going to talk about something that goes much deeper than just a breathing technique. We are going to talk about your diaphragm, one of the most important muscles in your entire body, and what actually happens to it when you have COPD. And more importantly, we are going to talk about what you can do every single day to strengthen it, protect it, and use it to increase the amount of oxygen getting into your blood with every single breath. This is the science behind deep belly breathing, and by the time this video ends, I think you are going to look at every breath you take a little differently. Let me start with a question. Have you ever noticed that, when you are really breathless, when that tightness hits and your chest feels full and heavy, your shoulders start rising up toward your ears, your upper chest heaves up and down, your neck tightens, your whole upper body gets involved just trying to pull air in. Sound familiar? That is your body doing the best it can. But it is also your body working in a way it was never designed to work. And understanding why that happens is the key to understanding why diaphragmatic breathing is so powerful. Your diaphragm is a large dome-shaped muscle that sits directly beneath your lungs, stretching across the base of your rib cage like a parachute. In a healthy set of lungs, this muscle is the primary driver of breathing. When you inhale, the diaphragm contracts and pulls downward, creating a drop in pressure inside your chest that draws air rushing in. When it relaxes and moves back up, air flows out. It is designed to do this work quietly and efficiently all day long, without you ever having to think about it. But with COPD, something changes. The airways lose their elasticity, and air begins to trap inside the lungs, particularly at the base, which is exactly where the diaphragm needs space to move. Over time, as more air gets trapped, the diaphragm gets pushed down and flattened. That dome shape, the shape that gives it its mechanical power, becomes less and less pronounced. A flattened diaphragm cannot contract as strongly or move as efficiently, so it contributes less and less to each breath. And here is the cascade that follows. When your diaphragm cannot do its job, your body recruits other muscles to pick up the slack, the muscles of your chest, your neck, your shoulders. These are accessory breathing muscles. They can help in a pinch, but they are small and they fatigue quickly. Using them as your primary breathing muscles is like doing heavy lifting with your fingers instead of your whole arm. It is exhausting. It burns through energy fast, and it leaves you feeling depleted and breathless far sooner than you should be. This is why so many people with COPD describe that bone-deep tiredness, the kind that goes beyond just being out of breath. When your body is spending that much energy just to breathe, there is very little left over for anything else. Now here is what the research tells us about what happens when you retrain that diaphragm. A study published in the journal Chest followed 14 COPD patients through a structured diaphragmatic breathing protocol during exercise. The results were clear. Diaphragmatic breathing significantly reduced the sensation of breathlessness and fatigue. Respiratory rate dropped. Tidal volume, the amount of air that moves with each breath, increased. And crucially, oxygen saturation improved measurably. The study concluded that changing the breathing pattern alone, without any medication or equipment, was enough to help COPD patients exercise longer, breathe easier, and feel less fatigued. Another study published in the Journals of Respiratory Medicine followed 29 patients with moderate to severe COPD. After just 2 minutes of diaphragmatic breathing, researchers recorded a significant increase in tidal volume, a reduction in breathing frequency, higher oxygen saturation, and a reduction in dead space ventilation, meaning a greater proportion of each breath was reaching the parts of the lung where oxygen actually gets exchanged into the blood, rather than sitting in the airways doing nothing useful. And in a review looking at patients practicing diaphragmatic breathing consistently, oxygen saturation improved from an average of around 93% up to nearly 95.5%. For people living with COPD, that kind of improvement in oxygenation can translate into real daily life changes: more energy, better cognitive clarity, less breathlessness during activity, and a deeper sense of being in control of your own body. That is what daily diaphragmatic training can do. Not in theory, in real clinical studies with real people managing the same condition you are managing right now. So, let us talk about how to actually do this, and more importantly, how to make it feel natural. The biggest challenge most people face with diaphragmatic breathing is that the chest breathing habit is so deeply ingrained that the belly simply does not want to move at first. You try to breathe into your belly and nothing happens, or the chest rises anyway. That is completely normal. That is not failure. That is just a pattern that has been established over years, and it takes a little patient repetition to shift. The most important tool you have is your hands. Hand placement turns this from an abstract idea into something you can feel and measure in real time. So here's how to do it. Find a comfortable position. Sitting with your back supported and your feet flat on the floor works beautifully, or lying on your back with your knees bent if that feels easier. Either is fine. Let your body settle. Place one hand lightly on your chest and one hand on your belly, right around your belly button. Now, breathe in slowly through your nose. As the breath comes in, your intention is to push your belly outward. Let it expand and rise like a balloon, gently filling with air. The hand on your belly should rise. The hand on your chest should remain as still as you can keep it. Then breathe out slowly through your mouth and let your belly fall back down. Soft and easy, no forcing. Belly rises on the inhale, belly falls on the exhale. Let's take one together right now. In through your nose, feel your belly expand. And out through your mouth, belly softens and falls. If your chest rose instead of your belly, that is okay. Try again. Place more attention on your lower hand. Some people find it helpful to imagine a small balloon sitting inside their belly. Every time they breathe in, that balloon fills up and pushes their hand upward. Every time they breathe out, the balloon gently deflates. That image alone has helped a lot of people make the connection for the first time. The goal is 5 minutes of this, once or twice a day, especially when you are calm and rested. Morning is an ideal time, before you get up, before the demands of the day begin. It sets your breathing pattern for the hours ahead. Evening works beautifully too, as a way to help your body unwind before sleep. Now, here is something I want you to understand that the research also backs up. The benefits of diaphragmatic breathing are not just physical. When you slow your breathing down and engage the diaphragm, your vagus nerve responds. Your heart rate slows. Your body begins to shift from that tense, shallow breath mode into something calmer and more settled. The anxiety that so often accompanies COPD breathlessness starts to ease. The chest tightness softens, and sleep quality often improves as a result. One breath at a time, you are genuinely changing the way your body responds to the world around it. Now, before we wrap up, I want to make sure you have the right structure to practice this every single day, because that consistency is where the real results live. I created a free resource called the 30-Day Breathing Tracker, designed specifically for adults managing COPD. Every day includes a simple morning and evening practice page with a diaphragmatic breathing checklist, a daily breathing score from 1 to 10, and space to write down what you noticed and what helped. There are also 4 weekly check-ins, so you can actually look back and see your progress building over time. 30 days of small, consistent steps. That is all it takes to begin retraining a breathing pattern. The link to download it is completely free, and it is right below this video in the description. Now, let me leave you with one final thought. Your diaphragm is a muscle, and like any muscle, your legs, your arms, your core, it responds to training. It responds to consistent, deliberate use. When you practice belly breathing every day, you are not just doing a breathing exercise. You are literally strengthening the primary muscle of respiration. You are helping it regain the dome shape it needs to work efficiently. You are reducing the burden on your neck and chest muscles, and you are creating more space for fresh, oxygen-rich air with every single breath. That is not a small thing. That is a profound act of care for your own body. Living with COPD is hard, but your lungs are not done working for you, and neither is your diaphragm. With the right practice, with patience, and with a little bit of daily commitment to yourself, you can genuinely change how efficiently your body breathes. The research says so, and I believe it for you. If this video gave you something useful today, please subscribe. New videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Practical breathing support made just for you. No equipment needed, no jargon. Just real tools, real science explained with care. Leave me a comment below and tell me. Do you find belly breathing hard to feel at first, or does it come naturally to you? I love hearing where everyone is on this journey. Take care of yourself. Keep breathing. And I will see you in the next one. Breathe easier, live fuller. And I want to add something here because I think it is worth saying out loud. A lot of people with COPD tell me they feel like their body has let them down, like their lungs are working against them, like they are fighting something they did not choose and cannot control. And I understand that feeling. I really do. But here is what I want you to hold on to after today. Your diaphragm has not given up. It has been pushed down. It has been weakened by circumstances that were not your fault. But it is still there. It is still capable of being strengthened. And every single time you place your hands on your belly and take one slow, intentional breath, you are helping it. You are working with your body instead of against it. That is something worth showing up for every day. Not because it is easy, but because you deserve to breathe well. You deserve to move through your days with more energy, more ease, and more confidence in your own body. Small steps. Consistent practice. That is the whole plan, and you are already on it.